Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is a game from round 9 of Tech Mahindra Global Chess League, and this is a game played between Chingari Gulf Titans and SGL Pan Warriors, and this is a game played between Magnus Carlsen and Krzysztof Duda, so definitely it's going to be one hell of a game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Magnus starts with e4, and here Duda replies with c5. Brazilian defense, definitely he's ready for a fight, and we have knight to f3 and just d6, and we have knight to c3 and knight to f6. We go for the Nimzovich closed system, and we have bishop to e2 and just knight to c6, and we go for a central thrust with d4, and we have c captures, knight captures, and just e5. Duda asking Magnus if he's interested in trade of knights, but Magnus declines as Magnus likes to keep all of his pieces on the board, and Magnus goes for knight back to f3, and we have h6, not allowing any bishop to g5, and here Magnus just simply castles. And we have bishop to e7 preparing castles and just rook to e1, and we have castles by Duda and just bishop to f1. This bishop will serve as a very nice defender, and maybe somewhere in the future you can remaneuver this bishop along this diagonal, and just rook to e8 by Duda and just h3, not allowing any bishop jumps, and we have bishop to f8 but just b3, and we have a6, maybe hinting at an early development on the queen side, and we have bishop to b2 and the early development on the queen side with b5, and after queen to d2 we have bishop to b7, getting this bishop on this very nice diagonal. But Magnus takes his opportunity to introduce the knight in the game, and with knight to d5, getting that knight to a very nice central outpost. And maybe with black, what you want to play in this move, it's the move with the knight back, which is knight to d8. And after c4, cementing that knight on d5, you go for this p captures, and after p captures, just a5. And after bishop to a3, getting this bishop to this very nice diagonal, you'll mostly see this knight to a6. Now this knight can be remaneuvered to c5. You could also play this knight to h5 followed with knight to f4. And this bishop on b7 is not doing very much, so you can maybe trade in for this knight on d5, which is a very strong piece. So possibilities remain open for black, and that is a position that Duda would normally thrive in. But Duda instead goes for this knight caps on d5, and this just opens a lot of problems for Duda, because Magnus just goes for e captures, and now once knight moves knight to e7, Magnus just traps that bishop on that b7 by going for this c4, and queen to d7 was played by Duda, but just a4. And even with the best move, which is rook to c8, you go for this queen to d1, and after b captures, you go for this a5, and after rook to c1, yes, somewhere along the line, you can remaneuver this bishop along this diagonal, which would be a decent piece, but that's still way far off in the future, and as of now, that bishop is not doing that very much. So instead, Duda tries this b captures on c4, but just b captures, and after knight to g6, and we have a5, Magnus does a brilliant job of locking in that bishop with this beautiful a5 move, and after rook c8, we have bishop to a3. And after e4, just attacking that knight, but now the d4 square has been vacated for the knight, and Magnus takes the opportunity to introduce the knight in the game with knight to e4. And we have knight to e5, Duda doing the same, and after rook c1, just queen to a4. And after bishop to b4, we have knight to d3 attacking the bishop, but just knight captures on d3. And after e captures, just rook d1. Magnus does not want to trade more pieces as he wants to win the game. And after rook to c7, we have knight to f5. And after bishop to c8 attacking the knight, we have knight to e3. And Duda goes for a very surprising move in this position, as Duda goes for an exchange sacrifice. That's right, Duda goes for rook captures on e3. And normally that would be a spectacular move, because if you go for this queen captures, you hand the bishop on b4, and if you go for the other way around with this f captures, you'll see this bishop to f5, and now you can see that you have a very strong pass pawn on d3, definitely compensation enough for the sacrifice exchange. But unfortunately for Duda, Duda missed a very crucial idea, and Magnus does not miss such things. So pause the video and help Magnus win this game for him while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations on finding this move, and the move is actually just rook to a1, pushing the queen back, and if you move the queen back, Magnus will just go for this queen captures and take the exchange happily. But you can go for this very funky line with, yes, that's right, sacrificing the exchange with queen captures on a1, and after rook captures, just rook to e4, but now the most important pawn, the d3 pass pawn falls, queen captures on d3, and after rook captures on c4, you have to move the bishop back with bishop to a3, but just rook to d4, attacking the queen, and once the queen moves, you go for this bishop to f5. But even with this, the fighting chances will not be enough. But that's the best that Duda has in this position. But Duda instead tries something else. Duda goes for queen to b3, but now just rook a b1. And now the bishop has been defended, and Duda tries something. Duda goes for queen captures on c4, but just queen captures on e3. And after bishop to f5, just rook bc1, and after queen to b3, just rook captures on c7. We have rook queen captures on d1 with the check, and after king to h2, just queen to b3, and queen to d4 was played, just defending that bishop. And after queen to a4, we have rook to a7, and after bishop to g6, we have rook to a8, and after queen to d7, just queen to b6. And here Duda tries to activate his queen as he goes for this queen to b5, but he missed a very crucial idea. And here Magnus delivers the final blow. Magnus goes for rook captures on f8 with a check, and you cannot capture because if you go for this, you get this checkmate. So Duda goes for king to h7, but now he's too much down in material. And after queen to d4, it was on this move, on move 40, that Krzysztof Duda designed the game. And definitely, what a spectacular game by Magnus. Beating a player of Duda's caliber in just 40 moves, definitely only Magnus can do. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game. Just go, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you all.